Hey yo. Hey yo.
What up? Welcome back to Little in the Middle. And it is hot as fucking balls right now. And I somehow managed to cuss within the first 15 seconds. I can't help myself. I know I cuss a lot. I try not to. It's my unconscious that's just blurring that word out. Everything else is like well thought of. I try to think before I speak. My unconscious mind is like, oh, it sounds like there could be a cuss word in all that gibberish that she thought that was well thought out. Let's just throw in some F-bombs. Let's throw in some B-bombs. Let's throw in some A-bombs. Let's throw all type of military grade weapons into the sentence. Let's come in hot. It's fucking hot right now. It's scorching hot right now. And I'm hoping that everybody had a great week. I live in Brooklyn, in New York, and right now it says it feels like 95. 95 degrees. That's crazy. No wonder I have a sweat stash right now. If you're watching on Spotify or YouTube, or if you just wait until I make these little clips to put on social media, you'll see a little bit of moisture on the top of my lips. I'm not a really sweaty person. My underarms sweat, yes. But, you know, like when it's really hot or like when I'm working out, I don't really sweat on my face. So I remember when I started working out, I was going to the gym. I started boxing when I was like 14, 15. And I remember I would go to the gym and like my coach, she'd be like, you're not working hard enough. You're not working hard enough because you're not sweating. I don't see any sweat on your face. Now get back and do more burpees. Get back on the treadmill. Shadow box a little more. Go hit the speed bag right now because you're not working out. You're not working out. I don't know what you're doing here. You're not working out. And I'd be like, but I can't breathe right now. And I feel the little mustache sweat coming on. Today's the last day of this little heat wave that we're having right now in the city. It feels like August right now. And people are dressing like it's August. People are dressing like it's summertime. You know, the coochie shorts came out already. This was the week to do that. This was the week to show off those 10 toes of yours and just walk around in flip-flops around the city. Those puppies needed a walk. Those puppies needed a breather. It's that kind of weather where you see like really nice like cars just like blasting their music and like, you know what's so funny about like the guys or girls who blast their music in the car when it's like 80 degrees and above? At what point do you tell yourself, should I blast my music and let everybody hear what I'm listening to because I want everybody to know that I have good taste in music? Or it's fucking hot as balls and maybe I should just roll up the window and put the volume at a reasonable range and I could just be comfortable in my 2023 Porsche and just blast the AC, because who am I trying to impress? The fucking kids around Brooklyn? Am I trying to impress? Who am I trying to impress? The other day I saw a Porsche. It was like a crossover, not an SUV, but it wasn't a sedan. And it was a really nice Porsche. And I wish I could tell you what kind of car it was, what kind of Porsche it was. I don't know, because I'm not in that bracket. I'm not in that money bracket to be looking at Porsches and to know what their what model it is. Sorry for you car freaks out there, but I saw a Porsche. It was a he, or maybe I don't know. This person that appeared to be male had his license plate like on the left side, vertically, not horizontally, like how it's supposed to go on your car. It was vertical. And then he had the Porsche symbol where the license plate should go. I know I go on these rants, and I know a lot of the times it sounds like I'm being a hater. I'm not. I'm just being observant, and I'm just trying to make fun of it. But hey, guy with the Porsche, we know it's a Porsche. We know it is. How about you take your Porsche logo license plate and actually put your license plate where the license plate should go and not vertically on the left side? We know it's a Porsche. Everybody knows. Put the license plate where it should go. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I went to the gym this morning, and there was this girl who every time I go to the gym during the day, I don't think I've ever seen her work out. And I know I already made an observation a few episodes ago about this guy who doesn't work out and he's always stretching. This particular, who appears to be female, I've never seen her like outside of the bathroom. And every time I've seen this female, let's call her a female because this is what I observed. She's not here to tell me how she identifies herself, but just for podcast sake and to be safe, she appeared to be female. She is in the woman's bathroom. I don't know what else to say about that, but every time I see her, she's always naked. And she has her phone blasting in the woman's bathroom. And she's like dancing and singing naked. Like, it's already bad enough that I see this woman rolling around singing, and like I give her full props because she is not ashamed. She's not embarrassed. She does not give a fuck what she looks like. But also don't add any extra special effects. Like, I don't need to see your whole body jiggling because this is your song playing. And again, I'm not being a hater. I'm just being an observer, and this is what I saw. This is what I always see. She was not naked today. So I walked into the bathroom because I wanted to wash my hands, and she's in front of the mirror with her hands up in the air, and then she's saying something along the lines of, they're trying to set me up. And I couldn't really hear what she was saying because I had my headphones in, and I didn't really care enough to hear what she was talking about. So I just heard set me up. They're trying to set me up. And then I said to myself, we got another one. We got another crazy person in the gym. Besides myself, besides the guy who talks to himself, we got a new one. We got the chick who's always naked bouncing around in the bathroom getting ready. And I feel like almost as if she enjoys showering in that gym a little too much. The last time I showered at the gym, I don't think I enjoyed myself that much in a public shower, in a public bathroom. It was almost as if she was really having the time of her life, blasting her music, getting ready, walking around naked like if that was her own place. And maybe she's homeless, but she doesn't look homeless. But maybe she's just having a hard time, or maybe she just does not give a fuck. Again, full props. What was I trying to say about this? What was the point of this? The point is, when I saw her talking to herself in the mirror with her hands up and saying they're trying to set me up, I just kind of had like a little epiphany. I don't know if that's the right word. I just thought to myself, damn, maybe she doesn't have an outlet. Maybe she doesn't have any friends or anyone who she feels close enough to have these conversations with, and instead she's just talking to herself in the mirror, telling herself that somebody's trying to set her up. I luckily have good people around me. I have a small but really good circle of friends, and I have family who I can reach out to. I also have a podcast, which it really helps with processing how I'm feeling. Besides the fact that I try to journal every day, like what I'm grateful for, what I'm doing for the day, and how my day went. And I just think to myself, if I didn't have any of those important things that I have in life, that could probably be me. I don't think I'm that far off from that lady who was talking to herself in a public bathroom naked. I don't think I'm that far off. That could be me. Shit happens and people somehow kind of lose their mind a little bit. And you realize, like me being in the city, I realize how many people are dealing with mental health and how shitty mental health is being taken care of in America. And then with like the school shootings, like it's getting a little out of hand, don't you think? I do not want to get political here because I have no side. And maybe even me saying that I have no side, it's still somehow somebody's not gonna like that I have no sides. I just feel like there should be a better way for humans to live in America. Why does it always have to lean super left or super right? Why can't we just meet in the middle? And I was reading this article about like gun control in America. This article is from Vox. I don't know. I signed up for Apple News, so whatever pops up, that's what if it catches my eye, I'll read it. There was a quote, and the title is called America's Unique Enduring Gun Problem Explained. Let me just read this really quickly. It says, other countries look at this problem and say people walking around in the community with handguns is just way too dangerous. So we're going to broadly limit legal access to that and make exceptions on the margins for people who might have a good reason to have a gun. Here we do the opposite. We say that because of the way that the Supreme Court interpreted the Second Amendment, everybody has a right to a gun for personal protection. And then we try to make exceptions for really dangerous people, but we can't figure out who they are. And that really stood out to me because we have technology, even though you think it's advanced, it's not as advanced in the areas that we want it to be. I'm not against guns either. I'm totally for guns. I'm just against letting people who shouldn't have guns buy guns. I just think that by now, like, shouldn't we have like better background check while in the process of buying a gun? I don't know. To me, it just doesn't really make sense. And also, for example, I'm just using myself as an example, right? I am diagnosed as being depressed, and I have a medical history of taking medication. What I'm trying to get at is, shouldn't there be a way for people to get assessment tests to see what their intentions are for guns? And even if they don't tell you right off the bat, they're not going to tell you, oh, hey, I want to buy this gun because I want to shoot up my high school because I hate everybody there and everybody picks on me, and I'm going to use that same gun to go home and shoot my parents because I fucking hate my parents too. And then I might kill myself. You might not get all of that information within the assessment tests, but shouldn't there be like psychological testing where we can kind of trick them into answering certain questions that they won't willingly answer to? And because I am medically diagnosed as a depressed person, so then that should put me on the spectrum of, hey, maybe she doesn't buy a gun. And then we got to look into my records with my therapists and my psychiatrists over the years. And shouldn't that be a better way of going about this whole gun control thing? I'm giving myself an example. I am not a sociopath. I'm not a psychopath. Yes, like sometimes I hate people, but I'm not willing to kill somebody. I might want to hurt them. I might want to maybe like kick them like against the wall or something. But I'm so sympathetic that if I see somebody cry, like that kind of makes me want to cry. But at the same time, because I do have anger management issues, then I think that should be a big red flag. Like, hey, this person probably shouldn't buy a gun because she lets her anger get the best of her, right? I'm waving a red flag right now. She might get trigger happy because she's having a bad day, or because maybe somebody cut her off during traffic, or maybe somebody bumped her the wrong way on the subway. Sometimes people just snap. And what I'm trying to say is not everybody should have a gun. I'm not a homeowner, so I don't feel the need to buy a gun. But if I have a family, if I have a home, if I have certain valuable assets in the home, then maybe I will consider buying a few guns. But owning a gun, that doesn't make me a bad person. People who own guns are not a bad person until they do something bad with that gun. Does that make sense? Am I just going off on a rant that doesn't make sense? I don't know. But that's just my 2 cents into gun control, because I just feel like it's getting out of hand. And certain things like this, like these are the kind of things that are happening more frequently that you kind of think to yourself, do I even want to start a family? If I had a kid, or if I had kids and they're in elementary school, middle school, high school, I wouldn't feel too safe letting them go to school. So my little brother and sister, they go to high school. You'd like to think that nothing like that would ever happen. God forbid anything would happen to them. I would lose my mind. You know, it just makes you think, like, it's school. That kind of shit's not supposed to happen. But anyway, I wanted to go over some current events because it seems like this is kind of surfacing around a lot, and I know a lot of people are talking about it, so anything that I say probably isn't so unique, and you're probably tired of hearing about the Dalai Lama, right? The Dalai Lama incident, that he kissed a boy on the lips and then he stuck out his tongue and told a little boy to suck his tongue. I read the headline and I automatically was biased because in my mind I'm like, oh, this is disgusting. And then I watched the video, and like throughout the whole video, I think it was like a 2-3 minute video, and the whole time I'm just like uncomfortable. You know, it's just like a little uncomfortable to watch because it was the quietness, the stillness. It was just awkward. I don't know whether to believe that that's a Tibetan tradition because I'm not well read in the Tibetan tradition, and supposedly like the Chinese are stirring up this drama, and it's kind of hard to believe what is true. And this, like, the moment that I finished watching the video, immediately in my mind I thought, this is why you don't praise false idols. This is why religion is such a slippery slope. This kind of gives religion a bad rep all around. I'm not specifically talking about one religion. I'm talking about all of them, right? Because you think that the Father or the Pope or Dalai Lama are so pure and they have nothing but love in their heart. Like, you know, about like the priests and the Father, like there's been years and years of records stating that they're pedophiles, they molest kids. And when I saw that, I was not shocked. And also because I've been let down so much and I've been deceived so much that this is why I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked because last time I tried to get back into like going to church, there was a time about maybe I want to say 4 or 5 years ago. There was a time where I just thought to myself, like, man, I feel like I need the Lord right now. I need to go to church. I need to pray. I was trying to find a Bible study. I was thinking to myself, you should go back to church. And a few days ago, after I had that thought, this Asian woman approached me on the platform while I was waiting for the train. On the subway, waiting for the train, like on the bus, walking on the street, like I don't give anybody the time of day. I'm not hearing your sob story. I'm sorry, but you just never know. She asked if I wanted to this sounds so cliche, but she asked me if I wanted to get to know God, right? And I was like, yeah, I was looking into going to Bible study. Yeah, I'm interested. And so I was seeing this woman like at coffee shops, and we would read the Bible, and then we would go over like verses, and she would like interpret it for me. The one thing that didn't really rub me the right way was when she made it seem like, oh yeah, I know everything about the Bible. I read the whole Bible. I know it. I know it front and back. And like, I'm like, okay now. All right, we get it. We get it. You love the Lord. I get it. But do you really know everything? And then one time I went to Bible study. It was on a Wednesday night. And I think that was the last time I went because it seemed a little shady. Like all the people that go to Bible study, it's like they all have like these little like cliques, right? They act like they don't know each other, but they're all in the same organization. This time I was in school. I was a sophomore at BMCC, which is a community college in Manhattan. And this chick that I went to, we were studying psychology, and she was telling me about like a bad experience that she had with religion. I don't know how religion came up. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to Bible study. I go to this and this place in Midtown in Manhattan, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, really? She's like, oh, okay. And I don't remember if she said if she went there or not, but she was looking up her Facebook, and she started pulling up certain people who organize the Bible study meetings. And so I saw a picture of one other girl, and I'm like, oh yeah, she goes there. I've seen her there. And she's like, oh, she kind of gave me that look like, oh, honey, I gotta fill you in. These are the people who gave me a bad experience. And I was like, oh shit. Tell me everything. Tell me everything. And she was pretty much saying that, like I said, like they all know each other, but they all act like they don't know each other. And it's like a recruitment thing, right? It's like the more people they recruit, it's like the higher ranking they go up in. So I was a number to her, I guess, so she can move on to the next level. And the girl that I was going to school with, she's like, there's levels to this. And she was telling me like she was like going higher and higher in like levels. And the next level you go, the more information they tell you. The next level you go, the more information they tell you. And it just, I forgot what happened to her, but she pretty much stopped going because it was like super shady. It's like very deceiving. And then when I told the lady who I was doing Bible study with, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to take a break. I'll let you know because I've been busy. And I was just like bullshitting, right? I had to make up a lie, like I'm really busy and I can't make time for Bible study anymore. And it was so weird too, because after I told her I wasn't going to Bible study anymore, she would like send me text messages and like quotes, and it wasn't even, she wasn't even saying like, hey, how you doing? I hope you come back. It was just like quotes. gifts with like a little God bless you, and it's just like kind of weird. I don't know. And I'm not bashing religion, but that's just my experience, and this is why it people who I feel like people who are in religion and they try to like get you to come, like I don't trust them. I've been deceived. And I don't want to get too religious so, like on this podcast, but you should only be praying to whoever your God is, right? Not fucking Thomas, who is wearing a cloak and a vest, and he has on his brown church shoes on. Why do I gotta? What does he have to do in all this? But back to Dalai Lama, right? It just made me so uncomfortable to see that video. And they're saying that, it's part of Tibetan practice, to stick out the tongue. But nowhere, people were like commenting, where does that say suck my tongue? They don't say suck my tongue in the Tibetan culture. That's not a practice. So he went out of line. And I was thinking about the suck my tongue. And it just made me realize you can see the Dalai Lama the way you want, but somehow me and Dalai Lama got something in common. We like tongue action. You ever suck somebody's tongue? Or you ever got your tongue sucked? It's a very sensual thing while you're kissing, right? Set aside the kissing. Set aside French kissing. But when you suck a fucking tongue, do you know what that symbolizes? Do you really know what that really means? That's kind of like saying, like, what's his name? Stewie from Mad TV. I know I'm showing my age right now. I grew up on Mad TV. Ma, look what I can do. And when you suck somebody's tongue, that's kind of like saying, hey, look what I can do. You like the way I suck your tongue? Just wait until you see when I suck something else. And I'm not over here sucking everybody's tongue, right? Like that's not what I do. But when you suck somebody's tongue during like the makeout process, like right before you guys are about to do other extracurricular activities, that's like a form of like foreplay. And I feel like not everybody knows about sucking tongue, but how the fuck does Dalai Lama, like how's that his thing? Who has sucked his tongue before? How does he know that's a thing? How the fuck does he know that's a thing? That's what I want to know. I'm going to go around asking people, hey, have you ever, or do you suck other people's tongue? Has anybody sucked your tongue? Did you know about this? Because I knew about this. This was my thing, okay? This is like when I'm talking about myself, when you meet a guy and you're like, damn, this guy's fucking fine. And then you guys finally get to make out. And then somehow like the tongue action starts coming out. And then you somehow get a grip on that fucking tongue. And you're like, let me just suck the shit out of this tongue. How the fuck does Dalai Lama know about that? And also, are we really convinced that he's celibate? He's 87 years old. You're telling me he's never touched himself down there? You mean to tell me this person, right, because he's a human, this male human has never touched himself? Certain religions, they say when you masturbate, that's like taking away your virginity. You mean to tell me? I'm trying to find a metaphor for this. But you mean to tell me that doorknob has never been turned? You mean to tell me that switch has never been turned on? You mean to tell me the backup generator has never been used? I find that really hard to believe. And God forgive me for bashing on Dalai Lama, for speaking nothing positive about his holiness, because that's how they responded after the backlash. Please forgive me, Lord. But this is a podcast and this is entertainment, and that is all. That's my take on that. And I forget that my little brother and sister probably listen to this, and that kind of just... I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But my little brother, he knows what's up. And my sister is going to be 18 soon, so she'll be all right. I saw this other article about... Okay, so this is on CNBC. It's about Warren Buffett. And the title is Warren Buffett, I'd give up a year of my life to eat what I want. And in the article, you see a picture of him just like chugging a bottle of Coca-Cola. This is a quote from Warren Buffett. I always tell people I found everything I like to eat by the time I was 6, Buffett said. I mean, why should I fool around with all these other foods? Warren Buffett is 92 years old, and his diet consists of junk food and sugary beverages. Said it would hypothetically be better to lose a year of his life than to eat foods considered healthier. Here's another quote. I know all these people eat all these green things and everything, he said. But if somebody told me I would live an extra year if I ate nothing but broccoli and a few other things all my life instead of eating what I like to eat, I would say take the year off the end of my life and let me eat what I like to eat. And I respect that so much because he's 92 years old and this man is not giving a fuck about his health. He does not care about diabetes. He does not care about cholesterol going up. He does not give a flying fuck. And here it says, Buffett said he's gotten to the age with the habits of a 6-year-old and has been lucky to mostly be in good health. I think happiness makes an enormous amount of difference in terms of longevity, he said. I'm happier when I'm eating hot fudge sundaes or drinking Coke. But also, Warren Buffett, you're a millionaire though. You are a multi-millionaire. What do you mean I give up a year of my life? You might not have another year right now. But also, you're rich. If I was Warren Buffett's age, I'd not give a fuck either. I'd be eating pizza, hamburgers, not hamburgers, cheeseburgers, milkshakes. Actually, no, I don't really fuck with milkshakes. Ice cream sundaes, cupcakes, cookies, chocolates that are put in the fridge or in the freezer so they're nice and cold. But also, he rich though. He's done everything he could have done. He has lived the best life. I don't even know if Warren Buffett has kids. I'm kind of hoping he does, or if he has like family still alive who he can share the wealth with, but damn. My man's drinking liters and liters of Coke, and I can't even take more than 2 ounces of Mexican Coke, regular Coke. I take a sip of Diet Coke just so I could feel alive. But also, I'm not rich. I feel like when you're rich, everything kind of just tastes and feels a lot better, right? Or am I just making that up? Whew, it is really hot right now. Okay, so I'm just going to go over a quick Dear Abby. Okay. Fiance still looking up ex on Facebook. All right. I can't be the only one to say, when you start a relationship and you don't really have like full trust of this person that you really like, and you were, I don't want to say you're like self-conscious, but you kind of like want to think what their past was like, who they used to date, what they used to look like, if they look better than you, or maybe if like you're the new hot girlfriend, or you just want to like know what their catalog looked like before, right? Like you just want to, it's like when you go on these little stalker searches, it's almost like opening up a Vogue magazine. You're like, oh, beautiful, stunning, sexy. Where do I fit into this? I'll admit, there was a point where yes, I would stalk just to see like why are you following these girls? What do you have in common? Is that your ex? Is that your friend? Is that your cousin? And now I don't care anymore, but let's see what this is about. Dear Abby, I'm engaged to marry the love of my life. We've known each other since we were school age. We are now 50. It would be a second marriage for both of us. He is unaware that I have access to his Facebook account and can see that he looks up his ex about once a week. They have been divorced for 3 years. That's a long time. But like also move on. It bothers me, but I'm hesitant to say anything because I would have to reveal how I know. I absolutely know he loves me and is in love with me. What do I do? I've never seen this word before. Perturbed in Texas. Damn, that's wild. She has access to his Facebook and she's just like roaming. She's looking at his search history. She probably looked through all his female friends and like backtrack. Oh, what comment did he like? What comment did he love? Did he laugh at it? And this guy is just stalking his ex. When you're in a relationship and you guys end up breaking it off, I think it's normal for you to kind of stalk them to see what they're doing. But after 3 years, I think it's time to give it a break, nah? But also, does he have any kids? Because if he has any kids with this woman, then I can see why he's going back and like searching, right? And like in my situation, I don't stalk my ex, but I still try to somehow stalk my dog. Like I have no access, no connections to my ex because I think he probably blocked me on all platforms, but I just miss my dog. Like if I had access to my ex's page, I just want to see how my dog's doing. I want to see how my little baby boy's doing because I miss the shit out of him. I miss the shit out of my English bulldog, who I still call my fucking son. And his birthday is on November 14. So he's almost a week after me. My birthday is on 11/8 and he's 11/14. I miss that little fucker so much. And I'll put up a picture of him. I mean, he was just a big ball of he was just a big mushy little roly-poly. I miss my little bulldog. And there's really no dog better than a fucking English bulldog. I don't care what anybody says about their health, about their breathing problems. All dogs who have the smushed face, they are bundles of joy. All of them. Pugs, Frenchies, English bulldogs, they're all so loving. You could not find a more loving dog than some type of bulldog, Frenchie, pug. They have such funny personalities. They have like a mind of their own. they're perfect, okay? And lately I've been stalking my little dog's page because he has two pages that are both inactive. So I'm like, what the fuck? Open up another fucking page. Open up another bulldog page so I can stalk him again. Because at one point I was stalking my dog's page a year ago, and somehow I think maybe things didn't work out with my ex's ex-girlfriend, I guess, and now like he doesn't use that page anymore. So now I think they have to come up with a new page for my English bulldog, and I'm just like, how many more pages is Newman gonna have? Because that was my English bulldog's name. His name's Newman. How many more Newman pages can you make? Like, I don't even give a fuck about my ex. I just want to see my dog. Does anybody relate to that? Did anybody have a relationship with someone and you guys got a dog together and you guys didn't work out for whatever fucking reason and now you're stuck without your fucking kid? Cuz he was my son. I fucking love that little boy. And you know what fucking sucked about it? I don't think he was as close to me as he was my ex, because he was constantly with my ex. So he had like that advantage, right? So Newman automatically chose his side no matter fucking what, right? So I'm like, fuck, I guess I get the shit end of the stick then. But anyway, back to Abby's response. I can understand why you are bothered. Successful relationships, marriages in particular, are built on trust and honest communication, both of which appear to be absent in this love story. If you absolutely know your fiancé loves you, why have you been monitoring his online activities? I think it's time for full disclosure. Tell him why you feel the need to snoop on him and ask him why he feels the need to check on his ex. It could be simple curiosity. If it's more than that, you're entitled to know. Yo, now that I think about it, my ex, I used to snoop on his iPad to see what his Pornhub activity looked like. I was just curious. 'Cause he was a white dude. He was like a mutt. He was a mix of everything European, Jewish. I think he had like German blood. He also had like Spaniard blood. And he somehow found me attractive at one point, right? So we were an interracial couple. And I would look at his Pornhub history and it would just be like Black girls, Asian girls, Latinas, so, and then like skinny white girls. Like his thing was like suicide girls. So I would also snoop his IG. Like I would just be like, what? I haven't opened up suicide girls page in a while. So I have no idea what these suicide girls look like anymore. But he was into all colors of the rainbow. And I remember one time we had one of his friends over and his friend brought a girl over. And you ever just like see somebody and you're like, something just doesn't feel right. You know, like just something's not right about this person. And you don't know why you feel this way, but like you just dislike this person. And that's how I felt about this chick. She was like I don't want to call her a groupie, but she was always at shows and like she was always partying, and then like she somehow always like was backstage with the artists and blah blah blah. And so I'm like, damn, like what's this girl up to? And then like I started stalking her IG, and I think she was like a drummer, and like she was doing a lot of like promotion of like different brands. And some of her pictures were like a little like risque. And then one day And I don't know if that was me being a hater at that time. Like, damn, like she's really out there. Like she's really putting herself out there. And like I'm over here not doing that on social media, right? So I kind of felt shitty about myself. And then one day, and I was looking through my ex's iPad, and I didn't have to look far. And instantly, when I pulled up Pornhub on his iPad, guess who was on the screen? The fucking the chick that was over our place, who his friend invited over. And I don't know why I immediately, like as soon as he came home, as soon as my ex came home, and I showed him the iPad, I'm like, oh, why'd you have to jerk off to her? Why, of all the fucking females that you can jerk off to on Pornhub, you're gonna jerk off to her? And in my mind at the time, I just thought, I knew there was something not right about her. Not that there's anything wrong with doing porn for a living, but I feel like there was something dark. There was just like something not right. Just something didn't sit right with me. And I confronted him about it. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this bitch was over our fucking house, and you're over here masturbating over to her? Like, this fucking bitch was at our house at one point, and you jerked off to her. How am I supposed to feel about that? And I don't even know why I was that upset. I think I was upset at the fact that his friend and her could come over anytime. And I think that's what really bothered me. Wow, I haven't thought about that one in a while. So, what I wanted to open up with, and then I just got sidetracked. So, I want to end off on a good note here, because we kind of went on a little bit of a roller coaster, like a whole bunch of nonsense. I hope everybody has a good day. I really do. I hope you have a great week. I've been feeling great this past week. And which is pretty weird because I'm on my time of the month. I know TMI, but this is where I'm at my peak frustration. But I'm actually in a great mood. And I don't really know where that's coming from. I don't know if it's because I'm trying to be more grateful. I don't know if it's because I'm showering in cold water. Or if because I'm just like venting. Or because we're out of the winter season. But as much as I go on these rants, and as angry as I can seem sometimes, like I don't want to bring you down, right? I've been looking into doing these like ketamine treatments, which the company is called Mind Bloom, and I signed up for this maybe sometime last year. I don't really remember, but I think it was around September, and it was like an impulsive thing, and I bought the ketamine treatment. In order for me to have gone with the process, I had to go to a doctor to get like an annual checkup. And this is how fucking fucked up the healthcare system is, right? And also, like, this is some Brooklyn shit right now, because I went to go see a doctor for a checkup last summer. I think they charged me for the visit, but they never sent my results. I never got an invoice for my results. So not only did I waste my time to go to this doctor appointment, not only did I fucking piss in a cup, it never was submitted to the lab. Like, I never got my results back. And then, like, I called, and the receptionist is like, "Oh yeah, you this was like a while ago. This is like 5 months ago, and you still haven't gotten any response?" I'm like, "No." You're like, that's odd. Okay, I'm gonna reach out to the doctor, and she'll probably email you back, or she should email you back. We'll email you back, right? Nothing. Tell me how fucking the doctor's office robbed me. That's some Brooklyn shit. But anyway, this ketamine treatment, it's supposed to help with like anxiety and depression. And sometimes when I go back to edit my little clips for social media, and I'm like, damn, I'm really angry. I'm really pissed off right now. I listen to certain podcasters and like comedians, and the best ones that I enjoy listening to are the ones that go on these angry rants. So, and then I think to myself, do you guys like the rants? Should I keep this up? Do you like the rants? Or should I try to be a little bit more positive and not be so observant, right? And angry. But I'm not an angry person. Overall, I'm all right. But deep down, yes, I will always be a little cranky. But my worry is, if I do this ketamine treatment, is that going to take away from my personality? Because I like being who I am. You know, I like having a little bit of, a little fire. I like having a little fire in the furnace. So I think to myself, is that going to change my personality? Is that going to change my thinking? I'm really into like taking like low dose edibles of like THC and mushrooms, and I wish I could tell you what's going on, but I'm just in a good place right now. And even though I'm in a good place, it may seem like I'm not in a good place. But my thing is this ketamine treatment, like it's already paid for, so I think I'll eventually just do finish the whole session, and I don't think it's permanent, so I'll keep you posted on that. But I want you guys to enjoy this time of the year, because in the East Coast, summertime, springtime, it goes by in a flash. I'm really enjoying the sun right now. You're going to see a lot more of this sweaty mustache as we get closer and closer to summertime. So I just want to end it here. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. And if you like this podcast, share it with a friend. You know, I just want to be a good podcaster. I know that sounds so stupid, so cheesy, but I like doing this, you know. This is part of my self-growth. I hope that one day, a few years from now, you could say, damn, I was listening to her from the very beginning, and look where she's at now. Look how much better she's gotten. And if you do have an episode that you like a favorite episode, share that with somebody. If you don't like my views, then that's fine too. But thank you for listening. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
Hey, yo. Hey, yo.